Hello, hello. And it looks like we're live here as well on Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Mueller. I'm a success coach. And today I'm going to be talking with you about leadership and particularly authenticity in leadership and some do's and don'ts around authenticity in leadership. So this mini training that I'm doing with you here right now is part of the pep rally that I'm doing for our Radiant Greatness virtual membership launch, which is open now, and the doors will be closing April 25th. And I'll talk to you a little bit more about that after I go through this training with you, but let's for now just jump right in. Let me pull up my notes. Okay, so the reason that I brought up this topic today is that I am going through a year-long mentorship program with one of my mentors, Darren Hardy, on leadership. It's a Hero's Journey leadership mentorship. And I met with my accountability group this afternoon, and we were talking about some of our takeaways from the last module that we went through. And this module was, of course, focused on authenticity. And of course, I ate up this module because a lot of the work that I do as a success coach is helping my clients to become their authentic selves, to strip away all the false self that was created in childhood and even in our early adulthood as we were trying to be what we thought everyone else wanted us to be, and really stand in the power that is our authentic self. And so, in this training, we're looking at the 20th century leader versus the 21st century leader. And so the 20th century leader didn't have to be authentic. They were able to stand there and look put together and no emotion and no battle wounds and tell people what to do. Well, that kind of leadership does not work for the multi-generations that are in the workforce today in the 21st century. And so authenticity is really a major factor of successful leadership because a few different reasons. And I'm going to talk to you about two main ones. The first thing is that we need to bring our real self to all areas of our life, not just our work. Because when we are being our real selves, we're able to relate better with people. And of course, business is about people relationships. So what I have noticed working with my clients is that a lot of my clients, and I did this at one point in my life as well, just kept showing up and trying to be the person that they thought other people wanted them to be. And so they were wearing a mask that looked a certain way with their friends, and a different way with their family, and a different way with a different group of friends, and a different way at work. And what that does is that makes us, get confused, essentially, like all these different masks, all these different personas that we have to put forward. And it's highly depleting. It takes away our energy. And all of us have so much bigger and better things to do with our lives than putting forth a false mask of who we really aren't. So I experienced this when I was working with my corporate job. In my late 20s and 30s, I was lucky to have a really cool job where I was able to work with a lot of Fortune 500 global executives. And I was this, girl in her late 20s, early 30s, and I felt like in order for them to take me seriously, I had to be super professional. I was even that way with my teams that I worked with. And I think, I had a strong work ethic, but I felt like people weren't going to think that I was good at my job if I wasn't professional. I couldn't joke around. I couldn't let people know the truth about me. I couldn't let people see anything beyond professional, get stuff done, Sarah. And as I was going through the work and a lot of the work that I guide my clients through today, I learned that I had put forth this mask, and it was actually creating difficulty in my job because, like I said, our work is about relationships. And also, life is too short not to have fun. As I'm trying to be so professional and not putting myself forward, I'm not enjoying myself. And so I started with my team and with the executives that I was working with, just started sharing more of myself. Like at that time, the fact that I was teaching yoga and that I had 2 golden retriever puppies and the traveling places that were on my bucket list. And that allowed me to then connect. Because when we are authentic, that is when true connection happens. And it doesn't matter if it's business or if it's personal, like all of it is people to people. So in order for us to connect, we need to be authentic, which means we be vulnerable. So the second reason that authenticity is so important for leaders is just this that I just said. Because in order to inspire and connect with our team, we need to be authentic. It's really hard to inspire someone if we act like we're perfect, if we act like we've never made a mistake, if we act like we never have challenges and entrepreneurship is so fun, and we act like we've never not known the answer. Maybe we act like we've never cried at the end of the day. When we are not talking about our struggles and what we learn from them, when we're acting like this perfect persona on the outside, it doesn't motivate our teams. They can't relate to us. So we need to be authentic in order to create that relatedness and that true connection that inspires the intrinsic motivation of our team. So, part of this mentorship program that I'm going through in the last module that we did on authenticity, there was a question that said, well, where are you being most inauthentic in your life? And I've done a lot of work with this. I lead my clients through this kind of work in my coaching programs. But as I sat with that question, I realized that the answer is myself. Because I'm a success coach and because I help women manage their stress and overcome overwhelm and be a good mom, when I am not managing stress well, when I am feeling overwhelmed, when I cannot take another minute with my kids, I start to be hard on myself, feeling like I'm being an imposter. Like I teach this to my clients. Why am I not doing this for myself? And so what I've added in to make this more enjoyable and more productive for me is to give myself a little grace. Yes, I have these skills that help women work through these things, but I'm also human. And it doesn't mean that I or any of us we've ever 100% got it down or we're ever 100% perfect. And so what I am able to do as a coach, which is really cool, is when I'm feeling that way, it's not like I'm going to go here on social media and be like, hey guys, I'm super stressed. Like, part of using authenticity as a leader is having a purpose behind your authenticity, right? Like, you're not just going to walk up to every person that you meet in the grocery store and tell them about childhood trauma that you experienced or a challenge that you're having with your partner. When you're being authentic, there's a purpose. The purpose is connection, or maybe to inspire or relate. And so for me, like I said, I'm not just going to come on social media and talk about how stressed I am, but as I sit with that stress and learn from it, I'm then able to share my learning process with my clients, with you through these trainings and through my writing. So I hope you caught that point about authenticity is important and there needs to be a purpose behind it. We don't just go forth and air our dirty laundry to everyone. And so that leads me into the final piece that I want to share with you here about, authenticity is not an excuse for two things, right? So authenticity is not an excuse to be a jerk, and it's not an excuse to be lazy. So what do I mean by this? Well, authenticity is not an excuse to be a jerk. Like, let's say you have a coworker that you don't get along with. Well, you might say, well, it's my authentic self to not like this person. I'm just going to tell them how much I find them annoying. Well, that's not authenticity because there's no purpose behind it. You're really just being rude and unkind, and there's always place for kindness in our working environments. So it's not an excuse to be a jerk, and it's also not an excuse to be lazy, because the way that authenticity could be interpreted as lazy is, I get up in the morning and I just don't feel like doing what I want to do, so I'm just not going to do it. Well, that's not what we do as successful, productive human beings. Like, for example, for me, like if I get up in the morning, even though I've been meditating every morning for many, many years, like, yes, of course, there are some mornings that I wake up and I don't want to meditate. What feels authentic to me is to just go get a cup of coffee and sit outside and watch the trees, which I do that sometimes after I meditate. But we have to understand that our human brain is trying to keep things as simple as possible. So we're taking the easiest, laziest route to achieve our goals. But oftentimes when we take that easy route, we don't achieve our goals. We get stuck in the rat race of life that I've talked about, and why I am encouraging so many people to join our Radiant Greatness membership, so you can just pause for some self-reflection of your life, keep your goals front of mind, and accomplish them. and move forward. All right. So even though you may not feel like doing something, if that doesn't feel authentic to you, if you're working towards a bigger dream, there has to be discipline, right? Meditation, I don't feel like it every day, but I do it every day because I know the greater outcome that it will give me. Okay, let me just check if we have any questions. No questions yet. If you guys have any questions now or if you're watching the replay of this, please drop them below. I will be checking in and responding to all of your questions. I do want to take a quick minute and talk to you about the Radiant Greatness virtual membership that's open. So we already have a fantastic group of women that are signed up. They're being founding members. The benefit of being a founding member is that I will never be offering this founding membership pricing again. This is the lowest price point. It's a great deal for you to have your personal and professional development simplified. And so these are a couple reasons that the women who have signed up have done so. First of all, it's personal and professional development that won't overwhelm your schedule or your pocketbook. We're going to meet just once a month, and it's only $19 a month. It's totally doable to keep you moving forward. You're also going to see progress on your goals and dreams. So I have a simple accountability method that I'm building into this Radiant Greatness membership that's going to keep your goals and your priorities and who you want to be in your life front of mind, so that every month you're checking in and every month we're moving forward, no matter how much you have on your plate right now. And then finally, the Radiant Greatness membership is going to be consistent training for you. We need consistency in order to have success. We can't just work on ourselves for 1 month and then forget about ourselves for 6 months. Like, dieting doesn't work, right? It's a lifestyle. And so this membership provides a lifestyle of personal growth for you from my expert coaching and training, sharing the most significant learnings that I'm having with you. And it just makes your personal and professional development a no-brainer. You don't have to think about which podcast you're going to listen to or what self-help books you're going to get, and you're actually going to implement. So I want you to land in your radiant greatness. I want you to be your greatest self and join this awesome community of women that we have on this journey together. So I'll drop the registration link below. Doors close April 25th, so be sure to join us. And I will be back next week on Thursday, Friday, and maybe Saturday doing another live training. It's actually my husband's and my anniversary on April 20th. So we are headed to Key Largo, and we are going to enjoy some much needed time away. We have not been away since the pandemic. So I'm very much looking forward to that. So I will see you guys later next week. Thank you so much for watching.